Hi guys, Sharper back once again with another mint in box, and today we're going to be looking at the Disney Pixar Incredibles 2 Stretching and Speeding Elasticycle. Now, I haven't personally seen Incredibles 2, but from the trailers I can guess that Helen Parr, Mrs. Incredible herself, ends up becoming a solo hero act for a while. And she goes under her old hero name, Elastigirl. So, that's cool. And this is her whole shtick. She's got a cool motorcycle, and this is to emulate that kind of action. So let's just take a look at the box a bit more. We got Incredibles 2. We got a massive ramp. It's really big. We got some instructions, crank for motor sounds, and stretch and launch. We turn it around. Nice picture of Helen there. Product image, the massive crank, and yeah, that's about your lot. It's a very minimalist package. Not a lot to it, but the toy itself is the main event, which is great. So I'm going to take this thing out of its plastic prison and we'll take a look at how the toy works. Oh boy, Jakks Pacific do not want you to get into that package unless you've bought it, because that is stressful. The little key locking doodads that secure this to the packaging, I've never seen these before, and unless you read the instructions beforehand, you're likely to break this. So please be aware when you're taking this out of the package, make sure you turn these and pull them out. It'll make the whole process a lot easier. And secondly, this piece here, get rid of it, because it is purely for try me mode only, so useless. So yeah, this is the launch ramp. It's pretty big, and it does have the general Incredibles / Elastigirl branding. So it's red and black, really cool, but since it's for Elastigirl, we've got a nice embedded Elastigirl symbol with the silver trim. The gears to activate the bike are just here. If we turn it around, here's a better look at the handle, which does have a fold up option for better storage. You're supposed to pump it forward and that will launch the bike. So speaking of, let's take a look at that. This is a hefty but gorgeous piece of plastic. It's all got the gearing mechanism on the back end, so it's pretty back heavy. But apart from that, this is a gorgeous metallic red. And it's got the extending gimmick, useful with Elastigirl's powers. It's got a hook here to keep her stable, footwells that will hold her shoes, and even then pegs to slot into her ankles. It's fairly basic, but the metallic red really makes this pop. It is gorgeous. And speaking of gorgeousness, here is Helen Parr, looking quite doofy off the motorcycle. I mean, yeah, on the Elasticycle she looks really heroic and really cool. Here she looks doofy. Just look at her arms go. These are rubberized plastic, so you can stretch them to a certain extent, but it's not designed to be done so much. And unfortunately, because of that, you can't really get her arm. Oh, that's not bad. Oh, never mind. Because they've been set in a certain way, they're just going to wobble about in front of her. Her hands aren't even really in the right direction, and even then it's a bit weird. And just look at her thighs, they're ridiculous. Yeah, it's to accommodate the bike, but still, I don't think I can even get her to stand up, which is weird. She's, I don't want to say top heavy, because all of the weight is actually in her hips. It's just, yeah, that's not happening. Take a look at the face sculpt though, and the face sculpt is really, really nice. I think that's a blemish there. I'm not sure she's got a mole or anything from what I remember, but I think that just might be a paint blemish, but that's not a problem. But yeah, that's a really nice rendition of Helen Parr. Hair's all nicely swooshed. Yeah, she's a cutie. I like her. The emblems pretty nice. I don't remember the background to it being purple in the original, but it has been 14 years. We've been waiting 14 years for an Incredibles movie. It's so weird. The Incredibles came out in a time when superhero movies were garbage, and The Incredibles was a really, really good superhero story. It had a lot of heart to it, and 14 years later it's come back, jumping off right where the original movie left off, which is so weird to me, but I can't wait to see it. Anyway, back to the toy. Yeah, it's really a doofy figure, and comes with a bike helmet, because I don't think she wears one in the movie, but got to set a good example for the kiddies, haven't we? So it's a softer plastic, so it can just slot onto her head. it's so silly looking. She hasn't even got a visor or anything. It's just a... Oh, that's doofy. Alright, let's bring in the Elasticycle. We'll get her set up. We'll click her in. We'll plug her feet into the footwells. Again, this is kind of why her legs are so kind of doofy. It's to accommodate the sheer thickness of this bike. We'll slide her rubber hands onto the handlebars, and yeah, there we are. Pretty good. And as you can see, her arms can stretch to a fair whack. But let's put the two together and see how this entire shenanigans works. So we slot in the bike like so, making sure the metallic red pegs here slot into these black pillars here, and then it's just a matter of turning the crank. Oh, this is a little difficult, but bear with me. Oh, there it goes. I think the problem is I'm working within a small review space, so let's take this somewhere else so we can see how far this goes. As you can see from that footage, the Stretching and Speeding Elasticycle can travel for a fair distance. My gauging would be it was around 30 to 40 feet before it ran out of steam. You can gauge how fast and how far it goes by when you stop the revving. So it's a versatile toy that can be played with in a number of different locales. So if you've got a small place, you just don't have to wind it up so much, but it can go a fair whack, and that's brilliant. The figure is really cool. I like what they do. The whole stretching aspect is really interesting. It comes with a helmet to promote cycling safety. But yeah, it's a really fun little toy, and I'm really glad that I got the chance to mess around with it. You can pick up the stretching and speeding Elasticycle from most good toy retailers for $39.99, around there anyway. So I've been Sharpo. This has been the Incredibles 2 Stretching and Speeding Elasticycle, and I'll catch you guys next time on Mint in Box.